Hello, and welcome to my SquadCon talk, Building the Cybersecurity Workforce Pipeline, How to Recruit and Educate the Next Generation of Cyber Warriors, by me, Megan Howell, also known as Cyber Queen Meg. So, who am I? I'm a cybersecurity student at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona, and I am a founding member of the Grand Canyon University Threat Intelligence Support Unit in collaboration with the Arizona Cyber Threat Response Alliance and InfraGard. I am currently an offensive security intern at Cisco. I just finished my summer term there, and I am very excited to keep working there part-time during the fall. In the past, I have been a customer success intern at a cybersecurity startup called Trusona, a cybersecurity intern at PV Schools, a K-12 school district, and an information security intern at Arizona State University. I was a speaker at DEF CON 30 in their VR Village. I have been featured in Forbes magazine for my contributions to AI bias hunting. I am a bug bounty hunter, a national cyber scholar, a Skills USA cybersecurity top 5 national competitor, and much more. And on the side, I'm a musician. I play violin, piano, and guitar, and I also like to hang out with my family and friends and 2 dogs. So we have a problem here in the industry, as a lot of people are already aware of. The cybersecurity industry is rapidly growing, and many practitioners are retiring. In fact, 82% of employers have a cybersecurity worker gap, and the global shortage of cybersecurity workers is about 1.8 million unfilled jobs. But it's not just the industry that has a problem, it's also education. The vast majority of K-12 schools are not teaching cybersecurity skills to their students beyond digital citizenship, which is important but doesn't prepare them for possible careers in the field. Furthermore, few colleges have a cybersecurity program, and even fewer offer a degree that teaches the technical side of cybersecurity. Even more so, only one of the top 36 computer science degrees in the United States requires that their students take a cybersecurity course to graduate, and 3 of the top 10 computer science degrees in the U.S. don't have any cybersecurity courses even offered to their students. So, I offer a potential framework to solve this. This is based on my limited experience, and I am certain there are other amazing ideas out there that I didn't include in this framework that will also help solve this problem. The goal of introducing this framework is to help people and companies and education find ways to help the community build up the next generation of the cybersecurity workforce. So, at the center of this diagram, at the forefront of all of this, must be community. Community is the most important part, and I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about it today. We move up to concrete experience. How do we get kids concrete experience in cybersecurity? And when I'm referring to kids, I'm referring to the K-12 landscape, and at the end, I will talk a little more about college. This is kind of a progression in order of how a student might be exposed. We move to clubs, where students get to get some concrete experience in a little more of a structured environment. We move to competitions, where kids start to get motivated to keep learning by winning some pretty awesome prizes. We move into coursework. How do we teach cybersecurity, not just in colleges, not just in high schools, but at all levels of the curriculum? We move into certifications. Why are these so important, especially for our high school-aged and college-aged kids that are looking to get into cybersecurity? And what are some good ones for kids to start on? We talk about conferences and the importance of exposing children to conferences young, early, and often, and their benefits. We talk about career shadowing opportunities, both some that the educational system can provide and also employers through internships or externships. And then finally, we'll end with an overview of how we can create practical cybersecurity programs in colleges, and also how can we solve this gap of computer science students not having relevant secure coding experience and security experience. So, We moved to community, which I said was the most important part, and it is. In order to get youth into cybersecurity, we must create environments where they feel safe to learn, grow, fail, experiment, and find their passions. Without a welcoming, safe, fun, exciting, and supportive community, no child will feel safe. And by safe, I mean psychological safety, enough to learn and fail and pursue something new that they've never tried before, that's kind of new that we're teaching to children. A big way to build up this kind of community is through mentoring. Mentoring allows youth to gain workplace knowledge and first-hand advice from professionals. It allows them to form strong relationships that help them build their confidence, give them guidance, connect them to other adults and kids, allows everyone to share their experiences with each other, and opens the doors to a variety of possibilities. Without the mentors that I've had in my life, I wouldn't be nearly as successful as I am, which is why it is one of the most critical parts of community, which is the most critical part of getting the next generation interested in cybersecurity. Community gatherings are also super important to building this community. They give us visibility and awareness to what cybersecurity is. What do cybersecurity professionals do? What exactly is this cybersecurity thing? It allows the youth to form bonds and learn new things while also getting them excited about the cool things they can do in the field. It allows them to explore interests safely and freely. Basically, these provide awareness and education, and some different types of community gatherings that I have listed include meetups, such as the ones that local DEF CON groups hold. We have Capture the Flag events, which we'll talk about way more in competitions, and conferences, which obviously we will touch on in conferences. So I'm going to move on straight to clubs. We'll get to concrete experience a little later, but just keep in mind that all of these kind of embody concrete experience. So structured after-school extracurriculars are a great next step for kids to explore that maybe have gone to some unstructured community meetups and found some interest. They want to take just a small leap into the field, maybe just a semester after school club, or maybe pursue a merit badge. So let's dive right into it. School clubs are obviously a great way to do this. We can have Linux clubs. There is a Twitter account that I follow by a guy named Stu that runs Linux clubs at the middle school level, teaching the kids how to use Linux, and they even set up old computers to run Linux and give out to the less advantaged kids in the community, so they have a computer. We obviously have our coding clubs that have kind of been around for a little while with the advent of the Hour of Code and Code.org and Scratch. And we also have Girls Who Code, which is not only a coding club for young women, but also a place for them to learn skills like bravery and resilience and public speaking, and to feel safe in pursuing their ideas and pursuing what's known as a passion project for them. So Girls Who Code can be run as a school club or also as a community program, which makes a great segue to the next portion of this. We have girls and boys clubs, we have big brothers and big sisters, and these programs all provide kids with a mentor. And these mentors kind of help them and teach them. And just like I mentioned in the mentoring section of community, these mentors can really be instrumental in introducing kids to cyber. And I'm not saying that everyone has to go out and mentor a girl or a boy in Big Brothers, Big Sisters, or the girls club or boys clubs, but even these clubs also run activities. We could just run an hour-long workshop on, here's Kali Linux on a Raspberry Pi, and here's how you can do basic hacking. Another important element of community programs are all ages community programs. So our YMCAs, our YWCAs, our Jewish community centers, our libraries, And just our municipal community centers often hold classes not only for kids, and they're often geared towards kids, but for adults. So just like I was mentioning, if you spent an hour preparing for and an hour leading a simple cybersecurity workshop, and there are many resources on the internet to find, so you don't even have to create it from scratch. Just exposing, some kids at the library or at the YMCA to hacking or network forensics or whatever you can dream of, it at least gives them the opportunity to experience cybersecurity. Because that's the thing, many of these kids aren't being exposed to it in the classroom, after school, in the community. And the goal of the framework is to kind of have those elements there, just like you would for teaching or being a doctor or being a lawyer. We want to make cybersecurity exposure just as prevalent, if not more so, as those fields. Now, one last aspect I want to touch on this slide is the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts both have merit badge programs for cybersecurity now. The Boy Scouts have what's known as the CyberChip Merit Badge, where it focuses a lot on digital safety, but it also does have some practical cybersecurity elements. Now, the Girl Scout program I think is super cool, and I think is a great way for any woman in cybersecurity to give back to their local community. They have 3 badges per level, and this is for the 3 oldest levels of Girl Scouts, the cadets, the seniors, and the ambassadors. And they all focus on technical skills while also giving that kind of digital safety emphasis. So some of these programs even have like a Wireshark lab, or here's how to use Kali Linux. So just leading one of those labs for a local Girl Scout troop, great way to expose young women especially to cybersecurity. All right, kind of on that note of volunteering, there are also programs for young people to volunteer. One really important aspect is to help a student who's really interested to set up a program to provide some free cybersecurity services for a small business or a charity or their local house of worship, their church or parish or temple or synagogue or mosque or wherever they choose to worship. Because these programs are often targeted by attackers, sadly often for hacktivism reasons, and many times these programs don't have the budget to fully secure these resources. Pretty much every small business, charity, and house of worship these days has a website and a payment portal that is often unsecured. So getting the youth and helping the youth to set up these programs not only teaches them and gets them interested, but gives back to the community. Another program by the AFA's Cyber Patriot Initiative, which I'll talk a lot more about later, is called Tech Caregivers, which is a program where youth can just take a quick 1-hour course and get certified to educate the elderly and people new to technology about digital safety. And any program like this allows youth to give back, and it shows a practical usage of cybersecurity, and it draws the interest from diverse communities. Imagine if you went to your temple or your church or your mosque and you talked to the youth program and was like, hey, is anyone here interested in learning cybersecurity? Then we're not just drawing from schools. We're getting, kids that are homeschooled. We're getting, kids that maybe not would be exposed otherwise. And it gives them a chance to shine and real work experience that they can put on their resume. Now, this is geared towards the older audience, but a lot of the other programs I talked about, such as the community center programs, easily can be geared towards younger kids. Competitions. This is the fun part. This is often where, in my experience, I have seen people kind of light up and be like, okay, I want to pursue this. It's competitions. So let's define one term really quickly called a CTF. Stands for Capture the Flag. It is not the game where you go run around on the football field trying to pull flags and capture them. It is an online hacking competition where you can get points and rewards for finding virtual flags through doing exercises such as cryptography, web hacking, networking, digital forensics, and more. So CyberStart America is one such CTF. It's a 48-hour competition you have to qualify for beforehand, by completing some self-paced online modules that teach students from the ground up all about cybersecurity. And the competition covers web exploitation, binary exploitation, forensics, and much more. Students can win a GIAC certification attempt, the GFACT certification shown on the slide, and a generous scholarship for college. I participated in this program my junior year of high school, and I was one of the ones fortunate enough to get a GFACT certification and a scholarship, and it's a wonderful program. Now, Cyber Patriot. I promised I'd touch on this more. Here we are. It is the nation's largest youth cyber defense competition. So this competition is not hacking, unlike Cyber Start America or many other CTFs out there. There's no hacking. It is in teams of 5, and they're 6-hour-long competitions focused on Cisco networking, both in a quiz format and in a packet tracer format, as well as focusing on fixing security vulnerabilities in both Windows and Linux, desktop and server. And it happens on a specific Saturday, and teams can compete in person or virtually, and there is no prior knowledge or experience required to join. This is a program often used in JROTC programs, because this is hosted by the Air Force Association, but you can be a civilian and compete. And both competitions I've mentioned are 9th through 12th grades only, so teenagers. And same with Skills USA. It's a career technical skills organization that many schools have a chapter of. They have a cybersecurity competition. I competed in the national competition twice. It is a 10 hours a day for 2 days at the national level, where you do literally everything. Wireless security, firewalls, a real pen test, computer security, all sorts of stuff. Now, the other thing I love about Skills USA is it's not just the technical. It also emphasizes your workplace soft skills. How do you do an interview? How do you write a resume? How do you network with people? How do you have those professional skills that aren't taught in the classroom? It allows people to, meet people all across the country and build their network. Trace Labs. This is definitely geared towards the 18-plus community, our older high schoolers, our college students. It's an OSINT competition, and it benefits the community by helping law enforcement find open source intelligence about real missing people, hence why this is an older teenager with parent permission or 18-plus deal. I have judged this competition many times. It is free to judge, and you get free training. However, you can pay to compete for a small fee, and that is the CTF style. And they also have an in-person competition at DEF CON typically every year. But again, this is for 16, 17-year-olds with parental permission or 18 and above. This is not something I would suggest for a younger audience. So let's move into coursework. In the high school, how do we do this? Test Out is an interactive and fun and student-driven experience. It's online labs, and each course can easily take students through a semester. And the best part is each course, when paid for, students get a hands-on lab-based certification attempt that is verified by Test Out and that can be put on resumes. Try Hack Me is great for a computer science class that maybe wants to do a cybersecurity unit, or even they now have larger modules, pen testing, red team, blue team, that could be used in a cybersecurity course format. But then again, I would recommend Test Out for that. And there's also the option of having your students build their own lab environment, install software, and try to hack it. I probably wouldn't make that a whole course. I would definitely supplement it with one or both of these, but it's a great hands-on aspect for the kids. And high schoolers can also take some outside courses. edX and Coursera, I would recommend more for high schoolers that are like, does this interest me? Because the courses are definitely more general. And TCM Security, Udemy are much more practical skill-based. Coursera also has some practical skill labs, so you could do those. But if you're just going to take a course on Coursera, they're typically pretty general. And I also want to touch, I'm going to go back one slide real quick, on how do we implement this in middle schools and elementary schools. Middle schools can definitely use TryHackMe for sure, and even older elementary schoolers. Now, younger elementary schoolers, we have to keep in mind, not only, are a lot of these concepts, something that we shouldn't introduce that young, but they're still learning how to navigate the online world themselves. So for younger students, I suggest, and again, this is just based on my limited experience, that we focus on teaching them about digital safety and the basic roles of cybersecurity, just like we do with a doctor or a teacher or a lawyer. Okay, this is a cybersecurity professional. Some of them hack systems so that they can be protected, and some of them try to defend systems. You start out very basic and you build up. And as they get older, you start implementing the technical aspects. All right, let's go to concrete experience. I already mentioned TryHackMe. I really love TryHackMe. I also like Hack the Box. That is definitely, once you have more experience, it could be a great capstone project or final exam in the classroom, or just for fun. You're given a vulnerable Windows or Linux machine, and you have either no or very little credentials, and your goal is to what's called pwn the system, or obtain root access, which is administrator access. These are fun, they're relevant, useful, and very easy to integrate into a classroom setting. Now, secure hacking environments are also great. Many local governments and universities have what's called cyber ranges, which are intentionally vulnerable networks that when you have a subscription to or a day pass to, you can freely hack. There are also isolated online servers that allow free play. Some of them are hosted online, such as Google's Gruyere application. Some you can host locally, such as the Damn Vulnerable Web application or the BWAP Buggy Web app. And if you're interested in cloud security, definitely, again, once you have some more of the fundamentals, there is flaws.cloud and flaws2.cloud that are great for this. Now, home labs. I love home labs. I'm still building mine. It's always a work in progress. It's where students can create a production environment where they can hack their own stuff, learn about phones, Windows, Linux, virtualization, blue team, red team, networking, really anything they want to. It gives them relevant hands-on experience. It's definitely more advanced, but for those more advanced students, definitely recommend. Bug bounty programs are also for the 16 and up crowd because they do involve getting paid. Some great programs are HackerOne, BugCrowd, Integrity, Yes We Hack, and Hunter.dev. So websites will sign up on one of these platforms and they'll say, hey, here's a list of URLs that we want people to test for security vulnerabilities. And it'll either be a private program, meaning you have to get invited to it, or a public program, meaning anyone can hack on it. Programs like Uber, Tesla, Google, Facebook have bug bounties. So you're helping companies and making some money and getting some hands-on experience. Open source software contributions are also great. Gives kids real-world experience, allows them to add to their resume, contribute to their community, and learn about code collaboration. What's Git? What's version control? How do I collaborate with people on the other side of the world? And then certifications. These are the certifications that I have achieved so far. I definitely recommend starting with they're not MTA anymore. The MTAs were retired, and have been replaced with the Azure Fundamentals exams. There's 9 of them. They're a great place to start. There's also the test out exams that I mentioned, the GFAC that I took with the scholarship. And then the ETA, ITS, I took through Skills USA, so that's also one. And I also took the AWS CCP. Cloud knowledge is getting more and more important to take every day. Let's move to conferences. Why conferences? It allows people to network, learn, have fun, implement their skills, practice professionalism and public speaking. And this is all great experience for young people of whatever age to experience. Now, career shadowing. School district internships are a great program. I've personally gone through one, and it was honestly the catalyst that led me to cybersecurity. And that is a summer camp format that introduces different areas of security or computer science in a fun way, and that uses practical projects and presentations to showcase their knowledge. They are fun. They allow you to build community and get mentored, as well as doing hands-on projects and work and public speaking engagements that you can put on your resume. Industry internships are just like they sound like. It's a real-world job with a possibility of pay or a future job, and it helps high schoolers when they're looking to get into college or get a job with having that on their resume. Now, last section, college. We're almost there. Cybersecurity degrees. I'm not an expert. These are just ideas. How do we make them useful? We need to have hands-on learning and integrate the technical aspects of cybersecurity into the degree. We need to have industry professionals visit classes, teach guest lectures, even teach some lectures. How do we implement this? We need to have some committees that can work with industry and academia and come up with a good curriculum. Some great programs I've seen are Dakota State University's program, as well as, and I'm a little bit biased on this, Grand Canyon University's program, but also heard great things about Western Governors University and the SANS Institute's own university. Now, requiring security coursework in computer science majors. Again, not an expert. Why is this so important? Because computer science majors that don't know how to code securely are not helping us get more secure. They're helping us get less secure. And we have to educate them so that they know what to do when they get on the job. Could lead to more cybersecurity professionals because they have the exposure. Like I said, 3 of the 10 top CS schools in the U.S. do not teach any cybersecurity. Even if we just required one intro to cybersecurity class and one secure coding class, or even just one secure coding class in a degree, it would make a huge difference. So, what are our takeaways? This isn't the end-all be-all. There are definitely better ideas out there that could complement these. Implementing one little change, whether discussed in this presentation or not, will help, because every little effort counts. Everyone's contributions, even if you just lead one workshop or sponsor one Cyber Patriot team or do one guest lecture, all of it is going to add up and help us recruit that next generation. I am more than happy to meet with anyone interested on getting some more information about my own experience. My contact information will be on the next slide. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. Please say you are from SquadCon when you connect with me from LinkedIn so that I know who you are and I won't reject your request. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm pretty active there. And please follow my blog on Medium. I'm always blogging about security content. And yes, I'm always happy to set up a 30-minute coffee chat just to talk more about this or anything else. So, again, SquadCon, thank you so much for listening to my talk today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at the contact information listed on my link tree, linktr.ee/cyberqueenmeg. It's a link tree/cyberqueenmeg. And have a great day, and thank you very much.